Hey everyone, Jim with the G here. Providing more content, we're trying to be anyway. So what we got here is an intermittent code on a D39 Komatsu bulldozer. It is code CA4461, which ends up putting it in D rate into LO4. Yeah, so let's see if we can try to figure this out quickly. All right, so I have troubleshooting here. If you have any service manual for a Komatsu machine or anything, it should provide you troubleshooting. One of the most helpful things I find with this troubleshooting is knowing why it's throwing this code, or what does it think is going on. That can sometimes help you pinpoint something, or maybe you did something that caused this issue. But for this detail or failure, it says a low voltage error occurs in DEFline heater relay 2 circuit. All right, so that helps a lot. Just to clarify, so you know, your SCR heater relay box looks like this. It is polyurethane in. You can't see all the stuff, but you got one plug and two plugs. This plug is power most of the time, power in and ground, and this goes out to all the heating elements that it needs to control and the CAN bus for the rest of the machine. So this actually has supposedly 2 relay circuits in it, and I'll show you a little bit what it looks like roughly on the inside. One moment. So reading through the troubleshooting, there's no diagram for this. It doesn't really show what I'm trying to show. So just back knowledge, there's 2 fuses that power this. One provides 2 legs, and the other one provides 2 legs of power. No, 3 legs, I'm sorry. And they both have their own individual fuses. You have to chase down the schematic to see that, but regardless, going through the troubleshooting itself, like I said, it's right here. Boop. There's 8 steps. So the 8th step is defective engine controller, which is usually not it. I'm not saying it can't be, but that's not it. But so we're gonna go through, there's 7 realistic ones. We're gonna go through the quick ones. That way we don't have to take anything apart because it might be something stupid. So as you can see, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Defective engine controller, like I said before, usually isn't it. So first thing I like to tell technicians, obviously read all this, let them know what's going on, and then read through. So first easy one is defective fuse. We'll make sure there is no other ones that we don't have to take anything off. Now I already know that number 7 was already done. We had a tech already replace this in the field before the machine come to the shop. And so what we're gonna go ahead and do is check that defective F22 fuse. So as you can see here, there's a 6-pin connector I was telling you about. You got 2 wires that go there, and you got number 4 that goes, and they go back, and they go stay on the outside, and you go right there. 22 and 20 amp and a 10 amp fuse. So let's check those fuses out. On this machine, these fuses are right here behind this box, which there's the operator's compartment. So you just take these thumb screws, and a lot of times what happens with these, let's say this machine's older, but these older machines, is sometimes the contacts will get corrosion on them because of all the dirt that enters in, as you see. So as you can see here, that bottom fuse box right there is the one we're looking for. You got a 20 amp and a 10 amp, which is def heater 1, def heater 2. Now it shows that, so that's number 3. It says check number 3, fuse box F22. So it's a 20 amp fuse. All right. So let's pull it out. So they're already numbered, 1, 2, and 3. So as you can see, it is not blown, but we do have some oxidation on there. Slightly, don't know if it is a problem, but we have had this machine not coating up for a while. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clean them up and put it back in there just in case. So got these things right here. These are terminal cleaners. They're really thin, so you can clean out stuff if you may suspect oxidation. I'm going to clean the fuse off a little bit, and then I'm going to go in there and I'm going to clean it off a little bit and see if we can get the code to go away. So clean it up, cleaning there up. We're going to go ahead and go in there, plug it back in. Right, we're gonna have to tighten those a little bit. They got a little loose. Be right back. All right, so should be able to record like this. So we're gonna see if the code got away or if we give us the option to get rid of the code. I highly doubt that was it, but let me check. All right. Oh, as you can see, still active. Let's see. So, still active, didn't fix it. So we're going to go to the next step. All right, so fuse didn't fix it, so we'll go ahead and check that off. So that's not it. All right, so next one, defective wiring harness connector. We'll check that. Open circuit harness, so probably gonna do this one because these two should be checked at the same time. We'll check this one as we go with all these. So we're gonna check between UR12, female 1 and 2, between ground and female 1 and 2. I'm sorry, should have minimum of 22 volts. So that is, come on camera, focus. This ain't gonna focus. So that's between here and here. You see they're tied together there. So we went through, followed it, fuse was good. So we know that's not the problem, so we need to make sure we don't have a broken wire over there. But first, we're gonna see if the batteries are good and they have charge. So we're not load testing, we are just checking them to make sure that the machine has proper voltage and we don't have a bigger issue. So turn the meter on, voltage. I'm gonna fuck with the range so it stops auto ranging, so I know that I'm messing with that much. So we'll test the first battery first, test them across, and then we'll just test each and every one. So I'm gonna put my lead here, and this lead here. I'm at 12.71. That's good. Now the back battery is a little pain in the ass, but we're gonna try and get there. So you gotta pull this back, and looks like we got some corrosion there. Get a flashlight, 1 second. No, just dirty. I don't know if you guys can see it. You guys can't. Flashlight's too bright. It's just dirty. So we're gonna go put our meter there, and then right there. And let's see what we got. So this side be negative. See if I can put you guys down for a second. All right. And this one all the way out here will be positive. 12.59, so we're good there. And just for shits and giggles, we're gonna ohm across both of these. Put you guys down for a second. I'll try it, guys. 1 second here. There we go. I see we got 24, it's going down because my lead's not in there right. So there you go. 25, so we're good there. So we do have proper battery voltage, so we should have, with key on at that UR2 connector, we should have where we need to go. Now here's the fun part. That connector is behind this pillar on the back side, so that's the fun part. This is where the time consuming part comes from. This code is getting to that box. And also, just I should have put the time up before. It was about 11:15 when I started this endeavor. It is currently 11:32, so we only know one thing. But you see, we've done about 15 minutes into it. Like I said, this is just to show that it doesn't take hours to troubleshoot. You just gotta know where you need to be. So we're climbing in, grabbing some stuff. Oh, my lead. And we're gonna go in there and show you where to check on this box, or how to get to there. All right, so fold down the seats. Slide it forward. There's where you need to be. So that big cover will get the whole thing out. So I'm gonna get that taken out and we'll go from there. Or you can take the seat out. Some people like taking the seat out. Oh, that's why I gotta flip it. There we go. Some people like taking the seat out. I don't, because it's really hard to get it back in here. But give me a second, we'll go ahead and get to it. All right, so there's supposed to be 5 screws in there. There's only 3. As you can see, this big plate. So you got one at the bottom and then across the top. I'll set that over here. All right, and if you look, which I think I might need a flashlight, but I think you guys can see it. I think it's up here. Yeah. So it should. One second. So like I'll say, that's right here. So there's your box. There's your power harness coming in. So that is UHR1. That is UHR2. So we pull that connector out, and we're going to test and see. Alright, so we got the connector undone. And if you can see, I'm trying to do this without blinding. If you look on the connector, there's numbers. So toward me is 4, 5, 6. Other side is 1, 2, 3. So we're going to check 1 and 2 for power with the key on. It's gonna throw more codes, but just gotta bear with it. So I got a ground strap. Hopefully grounded well enough. We're gonna go ahead and turn on the key. Like I said, it's gonna throw more codes because we unhooked the main power to that box. So it's gonna throw CAN bus codes and all that. Don't be worried, they'll go away as soon as we put it back in and let the machine idle for a few seconds. Alright, so we already know that this side is 1, 2, and 3. So I'm going to take my probe and I'll drop my multimeter into the belly pin if I can withstand it. That'll be great. Just gotta find the hole. That bitch. So gonna range it again. Alright. So we got 24 on number 1. That's number 3. Hard to do with the camera. Then we got 24 on number 2. So So we have power going to the circuit. That is good. All right, so that is not our issue. Our power's good, so let's go see what the rest of the troubleshooting says. All right, so we just did this one. UR2, 1 and 2. Minimum 22 ohms. We have not that, obviously, because we have 24 volts, which is plenty. All right, so the next one is ECM2J2 7 and UR1 number 11, 1 ohm, no open circuit. Unfortunately, we had to do that for our next 3, so we're gonna have to do that, and that might require pulling off the hood. So let's go look for the ECM. So on this model, the ECM is back there, so we're gonna have to take off this hood assembly to get where we need to be. So stand by. So we got the hood off, as you can see. All right, so when you get to those 2 connectors back there, I took the hood off because it's easier than taking the cab off, even though we might end up taking the cab off anyway. So let me get all these connectors undone, and we'll get the connector out and we'll see what we got. All right, so that took a little bit. Time now is currently 12:55, so middle of an hour and a half now. And there is J2. So you can see they didn't give you lunch room. You have to take 2 of these screws out, and then 2 in order to get that to go back. And then there's 2 clamps right there you got to take off so the harness will come up enough and you can get it out. This probably was the most time consuming thing I've done so far. But yeah, so let's go ahead and look at it. So you can see, or you can't see, there's numbers. So 1 to 20 should be 24, yeah, 24, 25 to 48, 49, 72, or 73, 74 to 96. Should be them, yeah. Yeah. So let me go get my multimeter hooked up and we're gonna do the test. All right, so the first test, this will be between ECM J2 number 7 and UR1 number 11. So UR1 is right there. So let me go ahead and get that pulled out, and we'll get something in there to pin it up and pin up this side. So as you can see, I took the box out because I couldn't fit my hand to get that connector out, which is only 4 bolts, and it comes right out. So I'm gonna go ahead and see what we can see. What are these top numbers? So we got top numbers are, you can't see them, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So this is 1 and this is 12. Let's see if I can try to illuminate it so you guys can see. Maybe. No. Yeah, well, the black wires show the white wires. Well, number 2, number 1's got a blank. All right, so we're there at the ECM, and it said ECM J2, which is J2, number 7. So So we're looking for little squares. We already know this is number 1 because it has a number 1 on it on this corner. So we're going to 1. So it goes in 4s. So the second one from the second row should be 7. So let's check that out. All right, put it on resistance. Gotta reset it. All right, so we have OL right now because there's nothing connected. And like we said before, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, let me get a flashlight and make sure I'm on the right one. 1 second. So that's 8. 8 is right there. So we're gonna go to number 7. All right, so there's our problem. Number 7. So for number 7, we have 950. So, like I said again, JT number 7 to number 11 should have max 1 ohm. We have 0.954 mega ohms. So that is definitely our problem. So now here comes the fun part. So let's follow number 11, heater drive 2. Goes up, goes into pin 5 of EG4. And then it goes to pin 26 on the OEM connector. Then it goes to pin 7. So I have EG4 right there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna see where the harness is broken, whether it's the back half or the front half. All right, take a second. So we connected to this side of EG4, which is the female side pin wise. See if I can get my phone in there so you guys can see. Nope. Yep, so it's down there. That's number 5, and we still got mega. So the break is in that harness. So we're probably gonna quote the harness, but probably run an overlay and fix it and just be done with it. Give me a minute. I forgot to update the time, so it's 1:19, so 2 hours. How it resolved. I'm gonna go ahead and get with my parts department, get a quote on the part, and probably take lunch. So I'll revisit it or show you how we run the overlay when we're done. All right, so we're back. Customer didn't want to do the harness because they would have to remove the cab and they need the machine back. So we're just going to run the overlay. So I'm going to do now, I'm going to pick up the floor pan of the machine, take it out. That way I can reach through and run the wire. And all we're going to do is run, they're both female pins. So we're going to run a wire from EG4, 5, all the way to UHR1, number, what was it, number 11? Yeah, number 11. And just take the connector apart, take the old pin out for the harness, put them in there, and we're gonna see if it works out. Show you in a minute. All right, so here are 2 female pins. Oh. Here's 1, here's 2. So we're gonna use ours a little thick, but it'll work. And we're gonna measure roughly from there to the back of the machine and make our wire. So when you're making these connector ends, what you wanna look for is see how the wire is the little hole right there. So you pull it out, it's gone. So you push it, and it's back there. That just keeps everything tight and in line. So when you're making these connector ends, what you want to look for is see how the wire is the little hole right there. So you pull it out, it's gone. So you push it, and it's back there. That just keeps everything tight and in line. You had to use the tool, and just like that, we got a sub-factory end. Now we're gonna measure it out. Like I said, I got orange because the white was way too thick and I didn't feel like messing with it. And we're gonna run it, guesstimate the length, and cut it to size and put the end on the other side. All right, so we got our wires made. Everything looks nice and neat. Now we're gonna go take them out of the connectors and run them through. Well, I gotta fish from the back first, but I'll show you how I'm gonna do that here in a second. So I'm gonna take my wire and I'm gonna attach it to the end of this here. I'm not gonna run too much. I'm just gonna electrical tape it so I can rip it off once it gets to the back. And I'll show you what that looks like. All right, so like I said, there's my feed wire, and we're gonna put in that connector right there. And as we said before, it was female number 11. So we're gonna take 11 pin out and put orange pin in, and I'll show you guys when I'm done with that. All right, so a little bit of time's passed. I had to go do something else in the middle of this. I did try to run an overlay from inside the cab. That wasn't gonna work. So what I did was I took out the battery box and the connectors right there. As you see, the orange wire has been put in, and the white wire that was broken, presumed to be broken, is gone. Now, what I'm probably gonna do on the other side, because of how hard it's supposed to get, how hard it is to get to it, I'm just gonna pull the pin out of the male side, the male pin, and then push them and heat shrink them together, and let that be that, and never have an issue after that. So, be there in a minute. All right, so like I said, pulled the wire out, a little light, make it a little better. Pull the wire out of the connector. Left it right there, that way we don't gotta worry about trying to wire in when we can't reach it. All right, we're gonna put everything back together and start her up and see what she does. All right, so put everything back together, let's see. All right, code's gone. And I was going to ask you to turn the key to the off position. And besides needing the maintenance, he's ready to go back to the customer. All right.